Okay, so what we're going to do today is what I want you to do is I want you to kind of follow along with me while I take you through the steps of actually painting a watercolor painting. So the first thing I want to talk about is the paper. So if you look at the paper, front and back, you will notice, and I have no idea if it'll pick up on the video, there is a side of the paper that has a little bit more texture than the other side. So you want to paint with the texture side up. Okay, so next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your tape, take masking tape, and what you're gonna do is you wanna tape your tape your picture down to the board. So you're gonna do this for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that when the paper gets wet, it's gonna wanna curl, and if you tape it down, it will not, it'll remain flat the whole time and it'll stay flat. The other thing that we can do is if we frame the picture, then we end up with an actual frame around the picture. When you peel off the tape, you'll have a nice white border around it, which is always nice because sometimes you can find yourself kind of covering up, part of the picture and kind of being upset by it. But if we put a nice border around it, then we know. So you're going to use your smaller sheet of paper. This is going to be your practice. All right, so we're using, so when you tape this down, be sure to use masking tape. Now, masking tape is designed to be sticky, but also designed to pull off without ruining stuff, because, it's originally designed to, to go on walls so you can like paint and get nice clean edges. So you don't want to use Scotch tape because that will rip your paper, and there's nothing worse than making something beautiful and then messing it up. Okay, so one more piece and then we'll talk about what else you need. All right, so the other thing that I want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about my setup. Like I said, I'm on a board. In addition, I'm going to lift this up for a second so you can see, and you can't see it. I have a beautiful heart-shaped rock. Doesn't really matter the shape of the rock. See, look, heart. Okay. Anyway, the point is I stuck a rock on one side so that when I put my paper down, it's actually at an angle. And the reason we want to do this is basically we want to kind of control the water using gravity. So if I have it at an angle, now I don't want to put it up too far, because if it's up too far, what's going to happen is the water's just going to drip too much. But by just putting it up at a little bit of an angle, we're kind of controlling where the bead is. Like sometimes when you're painting, it'll have too much and it'll want a bead, and we'll always know that the bead is traveling down because we put it on an angle. All right, so the other thing that you may want, if you can swing it, is you may want to get a hair dryer. So this hair dryer, you don't need a hair dryer, but this is for the impatient person, so which is me. So I'm gonna have a hair dryer. So when I, when I stop to blow dry things, if you don't have a hair dryer, you don't have to be worried about it. Like you can always take a break for an hour, or go do something else. You just make your choices and decide what you want. So obviously you're gonna start with a clean cup of water, your box of paints. No, stop it. Your box of paints, and then of course your palette. So the picture that we are starting with, okay, hold on.